Imagine you're standing in line at your local coffee shop. You've been waiting patiently for 10 minutes, and just as you're about to place your order, someone cuts in front of you, completely ignoring your presence. How do you react? Do you confront them angrily? Do you see the in silence? Or is there a better way to handle such situations? Today we're going to explore an ancient philosophy that offers a powerful approach to dealing with selfish people. Stoicism, but we won't just be talking about abstract concepts. Instead, we'll journey back to the Roman Empire, where this philosophy flourished, and see how three individuals from different walks of life applied Stoic principles to handle the selfish people they encountered. By the end of this video, you will clearly understand how Stoicism can help you navigate challenging interactions, whether dealing with demanding customers, toxic friends, or scheming colleagues. So let's step into the sandals of our Roman counterparts and discover the timeless wisdom of the Stoics. Historical context before we meet our Roman friends. Let's set the stage. Stoicism, founded in Athens around 300 BCE by Zeno of Citium, found its greatest expression in the Roman world. By the time of our story in the 2nd century CE, it had become a dominant philosophical school, influencing everyone from enslaved people to emperors. The Stoics believed that virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control was the only true good, and that external circumstances, including the actions of others, were ultimately indifferent to our happiness. They taught us to focus on what's within our control, thoughts and actions, and accept what isn't, other people's behavior. Three Stoic philosophers particularly stand out from this period. 1 Seneca for BCE, 65 CE, a wealthy statesman and tutor to Emperor Nero, who wrote extensively on applying Stoic principles to daily life. 2 Epictetus 50, 135 CE, a formerly enslaved person who became a respected teacher, is known for his practical approach to Stoicism. 3 Marcus Aurelius 1-1, 180 CE, the philosopher-emperor whose personal journal, Meditations, offers profound insights into Stoic thought. When dealing with difficult people, these Stoic thinkers offered consistent advice. Seneca wrote, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." Epictetus taught, "When you are offended at any man's fault, turn to yourself and study your own failings. Then you will forget your anger." Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Be tolerant of others and strict with yourself." But how did ordinary Romans apply these lofty principles in their daily lives? Let's find out by meeting our first character, Lucius, a shopkeeper in the bustling port city of Ostia. Character 1. Lucius, the Roman shopkeeper. Lucius wakes before dawn, just as the first rays of sunlight paint the sky over Ostia's harbor. At 35, he's been running his small tabernae, or shop, for over a decade. He sells a variety of everyday goods, from oil and wine to bread and vegetables, to the residents of this busy port city. As he opens his shop, located on a narrow street just off the main square, Lucius takes a moment to reflect on the day ahead. He knows he'll encounter all sorts of customers today, some pleasant, some difficult, but he's prepared. Every morning, he reads a passage from Epictetus's Enchiridion Handbook, a popular summary of Stoic teachings. Today's passage reads, "Remember that it is not he who gives abuse or blows, who insults, but the view we take of these things as insulting. When therefore anyone provokes you, be assured that it is your own opinion which provokes you." Lucius ponders these words as he arranges his wares. According to the edict on maximum prices issued by Emperor Diocletian, though our story takes place earlier, we'll use these prices for illustration. He prices his goods as follows: a liter of ordinary wine, 8 denarii, a kilogram of pork, 12 denarii, a liter of olive oil, 40 denarii, best quality, a kilogram of wheat flour, 100 denarii, a bundle of vegetables, cabbage, lettuce, etc., for denarii each. It's only a short time before his first customer arrives. Claudia, a regular, known for her sharp tongue and constant complaints. Lucius, she barks, "Your bread was stale yesterday. I demand a refund in the past." Such accusations would have angered Lucius, but now he takes a deep breath, remembering Epictetus's words, "It's not Claudia who provokes me. He thinks but my opinion of her words." Calmly he replies, "I'm sorry to hear that, Claudia. While I can't offer a refund for bread bought yesterday, I can give you a fresh loaf today at half price. Would that be acceptable, Claudia?" Taken aback by his calm demeanor, grudgingly agrees as she leaves with her discounted bread. Lucius reflects on how differently this interaction went compared to their past encounters, but his stoic resolve is about to be tested even further. His next customer is Quintus, a wealthy merchant known for his arrogance and selfishness. Quintus strides into the shop, barely acknowledging Lucius. "I need 10 liters of your best olive oil," he announces, "and I'll pay 35 denarii per liter, not a denarius more." Lucius knows that 35 denarii is below his cost price. He might have argued with Quintus or even refused to serve him in the past, but now he sees this as an opportunity to practice Stoic virtue. "I appreciate your business," Quintus Lucy teacher says calmly. "However, the best quality olive oil costs me 38 denarii per liter. I can offer you excellent oil at 35 denarii or the best at 40 denarii. As per the imperial edict, which would you prefer?" Quintus scowls. "Don't try to cheat me, shopkeeper. I know you can afford to sell at 35. Lucius takes another deep breath, reminding himself of Marcus Aurelius's words, "You always own the option of having no opinion." There's never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. "I understand your position, Quintus." Lucius responds, "I'm not trying to cheat you, merely to run my business fairly. The choice is yours: excellent oil at 35 denarii or the best at 40. Both are fine oils that will serve you well." Quintus glares at Lucius for a moment, then grudgingly says, "Fine. The best oil at 40 denarii, but I'll remember this, Lucius." As Lucius measures out the oil, he reflects on how he handled this situation differently compared to his pre-Stoic days. He hasn't let Quintus's selfish behavior disturb his peace of mind, and he stood firm in his principles without resorting to anger or rudeness. By midday, Lucius has dealt with several more difficult customers. One, a group of rowdy sailors who tried to haggle aggressively on a bulk purchase of wine. Lucius calmly explained his pricing and offered a small discount for the large order, maintaining his composure. To a wealthy matron who accused him of shortchanging her, Lucius patiently recounted the transaction, even offering to count the money again before her, diffusing the situation with his calm demeanor. 3, a local bureaucrat who demanded preferential treatment, threatening to cause trouble with the local authorities if he didn't get it. Lucius politely but firmly insisted on treating all customers equally, reminding the officials of the imperial laws against abusing power. In each case, Lucius applied Stoic principles. 1. He focused on what was within his control, his reactions and behavior, rather than what wasn't other people's actions. 2. He remembered that virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control was more important than temporary discomfort or financial gain. 3. He viewed each difficult interaction as an opportunity to practice and improve his character. As the sun reaches its zenith, Lucius takes a brief break to eat a simple lunch of bread, cheese, and olives. He reflects on his morning, feeling satisfied not because all of his interactions went smoothly, but because he maintained his principles and peace of mind. He picks up his one copy of Seneca's Letters from a Stoic and reads, "You ask what is the proper limit to a person's wealth, first having what is essential, and second having what is enough." Lucius smiles, realizing that he is indeed a wealthy man. By this definition, he has enough to live comfortably, and more importantly, he has developed the inner resources to handle life's challenges with equanimity. As he prepares to reopen his shop for the afternoon crowd, Lucius feels ready for whatever and whoever comes his way. He knows that by applying Stoic principles, he can navigate the challenges of dealing with selfish people without losing his own integrity or peace of mind. In our next segment, we'll see how these same principles play out in the life of someone from a very different social class. Valeria, wealthy Roman matron. But before we do, let's recap what we've learned from Lucius 1. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, but changing our perspective on external events. By focusing on our thoughts and actions rather than others' behavior, we can maintain our peace of mind even in difficult situations. 3. Each challenging interaction allows us to practice virtue and improve our character. Or true wealth lies not in material possessions, but in cultivating inner resources to handle life's challenges. Stay tuned as we continue our journey through Roman society, exploring how Stoicism can help us deal with selfish people from all walks of life. Character to Valeria, a wealthy Roman matron. As the first light of dawn filters through the silk curtains of her luxurious villa on Palatine Hill, Valeria Lutila, a 40-year-old Roman matron of senatorial rank, begins her day. Born into wealth and married to an even wealthier senator, Valeria's life is one of privilege, but also of complex social obligations and interpersonal challenges. Valeria's morning ritual begins with a quiet moment of reflection, a practice she adopted after discovering the writings of Musonius, Rufus, a Stoic philosopher, known for his progressive views on women's education. She reads from her personal collection of his lectures. Not men alone, but women too, have a natural inclination toward virtue and a capacity for acquiring it. And it is the nature of women, no less than men, to be pleased by good and just acts, and to reject the opposite of these. Strengthened by these words, Valeria prepares to face her day. Her first task is to oversee the household, which includes managing dozens of enslaved people and ensuring the smooth operation of her vast estate. The value of her home alone is estimated at several million sestertii, a sum that would take an average Roman century to earn. She notices some discrepancies. As she reviews the household accounts with her steward, it appears that Quintus, one of her husband's friends who frequently dine at their home, has been helping himself to expensive wines from their cellar without permission previously. Such selfish behavior from a social equal would have flustered Valeria, leaving her unsure how to respond without offending. But now, drawing on Stoic teachings, she reminds herself of Epictetus' words: "When any person treats you ill or speaks ill of you, remember that he does this or says this because he thinks it is his duty. It is not possible, then, for him to follow that which seems right to you, but that which seems right to himself." With this perspective, Valeria decides to address the issue, not with anger or accusation, but with calm assertiveness. She instructs her steward to keep a closer inventory of the wine, and to politely inform Quintus that, while he's always welcome to dine with them, any wine he wishes to take home must be purchased at market price. As midday approaches, Valeria prepares for one of her most challenging social obligations, hosting a luncheon for the wives of other prominent senators. While ostensibly friendly, these gatherings are often hotbeds of gossip, one-upmanship, and thinly veiled insults. Valeria's luncheon displays wealth and taste that would astound even upper-middle-class Romans. The dining room is adorned with frescoes and mosaics, worth thousands of denarii. The table settings include silver plates and cups. A set of 100 pieces might cost around 4,000 denarii. And the menu features exotic dishes, like peacock tongues and flamingo brains, each costing hundreds of denarii. As the guests arrive, Valerie greets each with genuine warmth, reminding herself of Marcus Aurelius's advice: "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own." During the luncheon, Valeria faces several challenges. 1. Livia, known for her sharp tongue, makes a snide comment about the quality of Valeria's silk curtains, which cost about 4,000 denarii for a set. Instead of responding defensively, Valeria thanks Olivia for her keen eye for detail and asks for her opinion on redecorating, turning a potential conflict into a constructive conversation. Claudia boasts about her husband's recent political victory, implying that Valeria's husband is less successful. Remembering Seneca's words, "All cruelty springs from weakness," Valeria responds with genuine congratulations, refusing to engage in the unspoken competition. 3. Octavia attempts to pry into a personal matter involving Valeria's sister, clearly fishing for gossip. Valeria definitely changes the subject, protecting her sister's privacy while maintaining social grace. Valeria maintains her composure throughout these interactions by focusing on what she can control, her thoughts and actions, rather than trying to manage others' behavior. She sees each challenging interaction as an opportunity to practice virtue and strengthen her character. After the luncheon, Valeria takes a moment to center herself before her next engagement, a visit to the public baths. Despite her wealth, she could easily afford a private bathhouse. Valeria believes in participating in public life, another principle she's adopted from Stoic philosophy. Valeria encounters women from various social classes at the baths, which cost her 1 denarius to enter, a small sum for her but a day's wages for many Romans. She overhears some unflattering gossip about herself, likely spread by one of her luncheon guests. In the past, such talk would have upset her greatly. Now she recalls Epictetus's teaching: if you hear that someone is speaking ill of you, instead of trying to defend yourself, say, he obviously does not know me very well, since there are so many other faults he could have mentioned. With this humorous and humble perspective, Valeria can let go of her concern about others' opinions and enjoy the relaxation of the baths. As evening falls and Valeria prepares for a dinner party at her home, where a single elaborate meal might cost upwards of 100,000, Sister Tishy reflects on her day. She realizes that by applying Stoic principles, she's been able to navigate complex social situations with grace, maintain her integrity in the face of others' selfish behavior, and find a sense of tranquility amidst the pressures of her high society life. Valeria's story demonstrates that Stoicism isn't about renouncing wealth or social status, but about finding inner peace and living virtuously. Regardless of external circumstances, whether dealing with household issues, social rivalries, or public gossip, Valeria shows how Stoic principles can be applied to handle selfish behavior in even the most privileged echelons of society. Character 3. Marcus, the Roman senator. As the sun rises over the 7 hills of Rome, Marcus Aurelius Quintus, a 45-year-old senator, prepares for another day in the Roman Senate. Despite his high status, Marcus faces numerous challenges, particularly in dealing with selfish and ambitious colleagues who often prioritize personal gain over the welfare of the Republic. Marcus begins his day by reading from his personal journal, inspired by the meditations of Emperor Marcus Aurelius. No relation. Today's entry reads: when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own, not of the same blood or birth, but the same mind, and possessing a share of the divine. With these words in mind, Marcus dons his senatorial toga, which costs around 4,000 denarii, a sum that would take a common labor years to earn. He's acutely aware of the privilege his position brings, and with it the responsibility to serve the public good. As Marcus enters the Senate, he's immediately confronted by Gaius Septimius Bassus, a notoriously selfish and corrupt senator. Bassus is pushing for a new tax law that would benefit wealthy landowners like himself while burdening the common people. "Marcus, my friend," Bassus says with an oily smile, "I trust I can count on your support for the new tax proposal. It would be mutually beneficial." In the past, such blatant self-interest might have angered Marcus, but now, remembering his morning reflection, he sees Bassus not as an enemy, but as a misguided individual who can't tell good from evil. Gaius Marcus replies calmly, "I appreciate your confidence in me. However, I believe our duty is to serve all Roman citizens, not just the wealthy. Perhaps we could discuss how to modify the proposal to benefit a broader range of people." Bassus scowls, but Marcus remains unperturbed. He knows that maintaining his principles, without resorting to anger or insults, makes him more likely to influence others positively. Throughout the day, Marcus faces several more challenges. One, a group of senators attempt to bribe him with a gift of rare Falernian wine, valued at 30 denarii per sexterius, about 0.5 liters, to support their proposal for a new aqueduct that would primarily serve their estates. To a rival senator, publicly accuses Marcus of incompetence in managing the grain supply, a crucial responsibility in keeping Rome's population fed and content. 3. The emperor's favorite, known for his selfish ambition, tries to pressure Marcus into supporting an unnecessary and expensive military campaign that would bring glory to the emperor, but hardship to the people. In each situation, Marcus applies Stoic principles. 1. He politely declines the wine, explaining that while he appreciates the gesture, he must make decisions based on merit alone. He suggests using the funds for the wine to subsidize grain for the poor instead. 2. Instead of responding angrily to the public accusation, Marcus calmly presents the facts about the grain supply, demonstrating his competence while refusing to engage in personal attacks. 3. With the emperor's favorite, Marcus respectfully but firmly presents a cost-benefit analysis of the proposed campaign, emphasizing the potential hardships for Roman citizens. He suggests alternative ways to honor the emperor that would benefit the people. By the end of the day, Marcus has maintained his integrity and potentially influenced others towards more ethical behavior. As he returns home, he reflects on a quote from Epictetus: "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." He realizes that by living historic principles, he's had a greater impact than any speech or argument could have achieved. So far, we've seen through the lives of Lucius the shopkeeper, Valeria the wealthy matron, and Marcus the senator that Stoic philosophy offers powerful tools for dealing with selfish people across all levels of society. These principles helped our Roman friends navigate their challenging social landscapes, from dealing with difficult customers to managing political rivalries. But how can we apply this ancient wisdom to our modern lives? Modern-day context. While we no longer wear togas or trade in denarii, the challenges of dealing with selfish people remain remarkably similar in our modern world. Let's explore how the Stoic approaches we've learned can apply to contemporary situations. 1. The modern Lucius. Retail and customer service. Imagine Sarah, a barista at a busy coffee shop in New York City. Like Lucius, she deals with a wide range of customers daily, some pleasant and some difficult. One morning, a businessman storms in, cutting the line and demanding immediate service because he's in a hurry in Lucius's time. This might have been a wealthy merchant throwing his weight around. Sarah, drawing on Stoic principles, remains calm. She politely but firmly explains the fairness of serving customers in order. Sarah maintains her composure and upholds the shop's policies by focusing on what she can control, her reaction rather than what she can't. The customer's behavior later. A customer complains about their latte, insisting it's not what they ordered, even though Sarah is sure she made it correctly. Instead of becoming defensive, Sarah channels Marcus Aurelius. The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. She apologizes for the inconvenience and offers to remake the drink, turning a potential conflict into an opportunity to demonstrate excellent customer service. To the modern Valeria, navigating social media in our digital age. The social pressures Valeria faced have amplified through social media. Consider Emma, a marketing executive who, like Valeria, feels the pressure to maintain a specific image. Emma's Instagram feed is filled with acquaintances showing off expensive vacations, designer clothes, and seemingly perfect lives. She feels the urge to compete and prove her worth through similar posts. But remembering Seneca's words, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Emma takes a step back. She realizes that these curated images don't represent real life any more than Valeria's elaborate dinner parties represented the everyday reality of ancient Rome. Instead of getting caught up in this digital, keeping up with the Joneses, Emma decides to limit her social media use and focus on real-world relationships and experiences that bring her genuine satisfaction. When a colleague posts a subtly boastful comment on one of Emma's work achievements, attempting to take partial credit, Emma resists the urge to respond defensively. Instead, she thanks the colleague for their contribution to the project, demonstrating grace and teamwork, rather than engaging in a petty online squabble. 3. The modern Marcus. Workplace politics. John, a middle manager at a large corporation, faces challenges similar to those faced by Senator Marcus. He must navigate office politics, deal with selfish colleagues, and maintain his integrity in a competitive environment. During a team meeting, a co-worker tries to take credit for John's idea, rather than interrupting or becoming visibly angry. John remembers Epictetus. You are not your body and hairstyle, but your capacity for choosing. Well, if your choices are beautiful, so too will you be. He calmly acknowledges his co-worker's contribution, while clearly restating his original idea. By choosing to respond with grace rather than anger, John maintains his professional reputation and sets a positive example for his team. Later, John is pressured by his supervisor to fudge some numbers in a report to make the department look better. Like Marcus refusing to support corrupt legislation, John must stand firm in his principles. He respectfully but firmly explains why he can't comply, offering to work on strategies to improve the department's performance. By focusing on long-term integrity over short-term gain, John embodies the Stoic virtue of courage for the Stoic approach to modern technology. Our Roman friends didn't have to deal with the constant pings of smartphones or the endless scroll of social media feeds. These modern inventions can amplify selfish behavior and make it harder to maintain our composure. Consider how a Stoic might approach these challenges. Constant connectivity. Just as Marcus chose which social engagements to attend, we can decide when to be available online. Setting boundaries around device use is a modern application of Stoic self-discipline. Information overload. With news and opinions constantly at our fingertips, it's easy to become overwhelmed. A Stoic approach would involve carefully choosing our sources of information and remembering Epictetus's advice. Don't just say you have read books. Show that through them you have learned to think better. Online arguments. Social media can be a breeding ground for conflict. Before engaging in an online debate, we might ask ourselves, as Marcus Aurelius did, is this essential? Often the Stoic choices to disengage from unproductive arguments. FOMO. Fear of missing out. The fear of missing out on events or opportunities can drive us to overcome it or make choices that don't align with our values. A Stoic would remind us to focus on what truly matters, not fleeting experiences or possessions. 5. Stoicism and modern self-care. In our fast-paced world, self-care has become a popular concept. Interestingly, many modern self-care practices align closely with Stoic principles. Mindfulness and meditation. The Stoic practice of daily reflection is similar to modern mindfulness techniques. Both involve stepping back from our immediate reactions to gain a broader perspective. Gratitude practices. Seneca advised, count your years and you will be ashamed to desire or indulge in the same things as you did as a youth. This aligns with modern gratitude practices that encourage us to appreciate what we have, rather than always wanting more. Journaling. Marcus Aurelius's Meditations was essentially a personal journal. Today, many people find similar benefits in journaling as a way to process thoughts and emotions. Voluntary discomfort. Some Stoics practice voluntary discomfort to build resilience. Modern equivalents might include cold showers, fasting, or digital detoxes, practices that strengthen our ability to handle discomfort and reduce our dependence on external comforts. In conclusion, while the specifics of our daily challenges may have changed since ancient Rome, the fundamentals of human nature and the wisdom of Stoicism remain remarkably relevant. By applying Stoic principles to our modern lives, we can navigate the complexities of our digital age with the same grace and resilience that Lucius, Valeria, and Marcus demonstrated in their time. Whether we're dealing with demanding customers, navigating social media pressures, managing office politics, or simply trying to maintain our peace of mind in a chaotic world, the Stoic approach offers timeless strategies for keeping our integrity, focusing on what truly matters, and finding contentment regardless of external circumstances. As epic teachers wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In our modern world, full of distractions and driven by instant gratification, this ancient wisdom may be more valuable than ever. As we conclude our journey through time, from the bustling streets of ancient Rome to the digital landscape of the 21st century, we've seen how the Stoic approach to dealing with selfish people has remained remarkably relevant and powerful. Take a look at what we've learned so far. 1. From Lucius the shopkeeper, we discovered the importance of maintaining our composure in the face of demanding customers. His ability to stay calm and focused on what he could control, his own actions and reactions, is just as valuable for today's retail workers as it was in ancient Rome. 2. Valeria, the wealthy matron, showed us how to navigate social pressures and maintain our integrity in a world obsessed with status. Her lessons on finding true fulfillment through virtue, rather than external validation, are particularly poignant in our age of social media and constant comparison. 3. Marcus the senator demonstrated how to uphold our principles in the face of corruption and self-interest, a skill as crucial in modern boardrooms as it was in the Roman Senate. His example reminds us that true leadership is about serving others, not ourselves. For in our modern context, we've seen how these ancient principles can help us navigate the complexities of digital communication, workplace politics, and a constant barrage of information and stimuli that characterize our contemporary world. However, perhaps the most striking aspect of our journey is how little human nature has changed over the centuries. The selfish merchant trying to undercut Lucius' prices isn't so different from the pushy customer demanding special treatment at a coffee shop. Valeria's social climbers bear a striking resemblance to today's Instagram influencers, and Marcus's corrupt fellow senators could easily be transplanted into a modern political scandal. This consistency in human behavior is precisely why Stoic philosophy remains so relevant. Its insights into human nature and practical strategies for maintaining our integrity and peace of mind are as applicable today as they were 2,000 years ago. However, it's important to note that adopting a Stoic approach doesn't mean becoming a pushover or accepting mistreatment. On the contrary, as we've seen with our Roman friends and their modern counterparts, Stoicism provides tools for standing firm in our principles and addressing issues calmly and effectively. In economic terms, we might say that Stoicism offers an excellent return on investment. The time and effort we put into cultivating Stoic virtues, wisdom, justice, courage, and self-control, pay dividends in terms of reduced stress, better relationships, and a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment. Just as Lucius found that his Stoic practice was more valuable than any goods in his shop, and Marcus realized that his integrity was worth more than any bribe, we too might find that the inner wealth, cultivated through Stoic practice, is far more valuable than any external possessions or status symbols. As we face our challenges with selfish people, whether it's a problematic coworker, a demanding family member, or a toxic friend, we can draw inspiration from our Roman friends. We can focus on what we can control, maintain our principles without resorting to anger, and view each challenging interaction as an opportunity to practice virtue and improve our character. In doing so, we may find, as Seneca did, that the willing fate leads on the unwilling. Fate drags along. By willingly embracing the Stoic approach, we can navigate life's challenges with grace and resilience, turning potential sources of frustration into opportunities for growth. Remember, you have a choice. The next time you encounter a selfish person, you can react with anger or frustration, allowing their behavior to disturb your peace of mind, or you can channel your inner Stoic, be it Lucius, Valeria, or Marcus, and respond with calm reason, maintaining your integrity and potentially influencing others positively. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. By cultivating this inner strength, we can face selfish people and other life challenges with serenity, wisdom, and grace. As we close, consider this. If our Roman friends could apply these principles in a world of togas and chariots, how might you apply them in your life today? The power of Stoicism lies not in reading about it, but in living it so as you go about your day facing your own Claudius, bases or digital age challenges. Remember the lessons of Lucius, Valeria, and Marcus. You to have the power to choose your response, to focus on what you can control, and to find tranquility amidst the chaos of selfish behavior. In the words of Epictetus, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. How will you choose to react?